Welcome everybody to the It's the Breakdown podcast with your boy, your host, J Vibes. I am once again here with my brother, Evan. How you doing, big dog?
I'm good. What's up, man?
You chilling?
I'm good.
That's what's up. So today, it's a very special one because we're going to finally settle the biggest debate everybody's always talking about. Room temperature water or cold water?
Room temperature.
Okay, well, we're in agreement there, so no argument there.
I mean, there could be an argument, like...
People are always going to have arguments.
But, I mean, are they going to accept the facts? Let me tell you something. Room temperature, so your organs, your body temperature is what? 96, 97 degrees, right?
Yeah.
So why would you drink cold water that's 50 to 40 degrees, put it in your body to cool your organs down that are naturally 97, 96 degrees? The only thing you're doing is damaging your organs.
Yeah, that's what I heard, but
Boom,
what about on a hot summer day? We're in Texas, it gets about 110 degrees, and you want some cold water.
Put a couple ice cubes in it.
Although mine are pretty... My room temperature water is still pretty cool.
My thing is, as long as you're drinking the water, your body's going to take care of itself because it's sweating that extra heat off.
Right.
So the only thing you're doing when you're drinking cold water is still damaging your organs. If anything, it's putting certain organs in shock because it's so hot. Your body's working extra hard to keep your body at a temperature that it's supposed to be at. The only thing that you're doing drinking cold water, especially that cold, is damaging your organs even more and making your body work even harder. That's facts. Like, Google it.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
No.
I read up on the same things you read up about. So for anybody out there that says cold water is better, you're wrong. Now, it may taste better on a hot day.
Yeah.
But it's still wrong. I'll drink room temperature water any day.
It don't mean it's wrong. It's just...
You're wrong. You know what I'm saying? You're wrong. And I'm ready to argue about it in the comments and everything.
Hey, I'm going room temperature water, but drink your cold water if you want it. I'm going to drink my cold whiskey. That's for sure.
Well, that's what he's drinking. All right. He's chilling. I'm drinking water. Because I know
Me too.
I'm going to need it. Okay. Say you weren't. And not say you weren't. Obviously, you don't have water in your cup right now.
I have water right here.
Well, that's good. Drink it up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But let's get back to the serious note.
Yeah.
And somewhat of a serious note. Super Bowl. Who you got? I know we said it in the last podcast, but let's reiterate.
I literally have $50 right now riding on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You about to lose your $50.
No, I'm not.
Mahomes is going to be throwing touchdown passes. Well, okay, in reality, both offenses are going to score. It's still going to come down to whose defense wants it more.
Are they really, though?
Yes.
Oh, yeah? So, let's get this straight. 3 of the 5 starting offensive linemen for Kansas City is out for this game.
You're right.
That has a whole lot to do with protection, scheme, and Patrick Mahomes' awareness in the pocket and outside the pocket. Tampa Bay also, their front line gets to the quarterback fairly well. Okay,
they do.
So when I'm making an analysis and I see that. That's top tier. If you don't win the game in the trenches, it's very hard to win the game. So that's where I'm going. And besides the fact that Tampa Bay has old Uncle Tom, who's won 6 out of 9 Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. That's a tough man to bet against. So that's where I'm going. Yeah, I do like Patrick Mahomes though.
Oh yeah,
love Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid.
Texas boy.
Yeah, man. I love Texas. I love Texas players. So You know,
Yeah.
I really like either one.
Yeah,
win,
I got you.
You know.
And this is really, if you really think about it, this is the first year Tom Brady kind of had weapons all around him. I mean, let's face it.
I wouldn't say all around him. He's always had a weapon or two, but he's always been the one to make that weapon who they are, if that makes sense. He's, with the exception of Randy Moss
and Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown came on late. Okay, they had 2 games together. I'm not counting that. So Wes Welker, who was Wes Welker before he went to Tom Brady?
That's true.
And then when he went to Denver, they did great things with
Yeah.
Danny Amendola, who was he before Tom Brady?
Somebody that the Cowboys should have kept.
But they didn't because they cut his ass because he wasn't performing.
Yep.
But that right there further proves my point. Dallas cut a practice squad player at that time. Tom Brady made him into a Pro Bowler. I don't know if he made the Pro Bowl, but he damn sure could have made the Pro Bowl.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If he didn't. And then he signs a good little contract with Detroit Lions, bro. Like, that's single-handedly, not only because of Tom Brady, but the work that Danny put in, obviously. But it's just the opportunities that Tom provided within the game, because he makes the right decision every time.
Okay, so are you saying that Gronk wouldn't have been Gronk if it wasn't for Tom Brady?
Well, you see the kind of off year that he's having this year. Man, he's just coming off of a year where it was a bit more relaxed, and he's been retired. So, I mean, it's whatever. But that's a bad dude. I think he would have been bad wherever he went, but the fact that he was with Tom made him even that much better. When I think tight end, and I see Tony Gonzalez and Gronk, I'm like, man, let me go ahead and get Gronk, because he's just so much more. He's just so much bigger.
Yeah,
he can catch the ball.
Also, he's more physical.
Yeah, exactly. And I just like physical tight ends, because that's what they have to be. They do have to block a little bit in the league. So, but Tony, man, he set the par for tight ends.
You ready to watch The Weeknd?
The Weeknd?
Super Bowl halftime? The Weeknd's going to be playing on the weekend.
Bro, I already have plans to go to one of his concerts in 2022 of April. It's on a Monday in Austin. Yes, it's his After Hours tour, by the way. After Hours tour 2022. It's a whole year away. I'm already planning for it. I've never been to a Weeknd concert, but I would love to go to this one.
Well, I've never been to a concert at all. And I'm trying to go. I want to go.
Gotta get you going.
Yeah, I need to go.
It's so fun, bro. They're so fun. That's one of those intimate experiences in life where you don't know as single anybody except for the people that you went there with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So in my case, the only concerts I've been with was 2 other people that I know. And one of them I didn't even know until the first concert that we went to. That was an experience in itself. She's cool shit, but those concerts, bro, man, such like when you think introvert and extroverts, like that's where worlds kind of collide in a sense. And it's a beautiful thing because I consider myself a mixture of the both. So when I was like, I got to see Dizzy Wright perform after years of listening to his music and listening to Hobson and, you know, just them collab and everything. And also listen to Tech 9 all the time. Bro, it was like I was overstimulated. It was just one of the greatest experiences of my life. Top 5, easy. And I there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it was great.
I don't know. For my first concert, I don't really know who I would want to go see. I think it would just be, if I do go, it'd be with, people that I want to be around with, so I can actually say I had my first experience and I enjoyed it with these people who made it fun. So, like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really listen to The Weeknd like that, but I do at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, if it's on, I'm gonna listen to him. I'm not gonna listen to him if I'm by myself, but the fact that it's always on, I know a lot of his songs.
Right.
All I'm hoping for is that he comes out with that face that he did his
just
music
so
video.
Memorable, yeah, bro. So let me explain to you like this. I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter who you go see for your first concert, because yes, there was other concerts that I had legitimately been to, other than that first one, that Tech Nine concert. That was I consider that my first concert. Okay, there'd other been like little bars that are playing music and stuff. I don't necessarily consider that a concert, even though there's a cover charge. It may have been a show, but when you go to your first concert, it almost doesn't even matter like who's performing. Like it's gonna be a whole different experience of music that you're gonna appreciate. Mm-hmm. That's something different. It's so weird. That's when your appreciation for music turns a little bit more. Right. It's gonna be nice. I almost suggest to you, like, man, if it's a certain type of music that you like and someone's coming to town playing that kind of music that you like, go see them.
Okay.
Go see them. Because, man, concerts are they're awesome. I'm gonna like, especially if it is someone that you like, a particular artist.
Yeah, like, because I've been telling you for a minute now that I want to go to a Ford concert.
Yeah,
and I've been listening to Ford since he came out, and I was like, I know that he was supposed to have one in Dallas. I don't know if it was gonna be this year or like next year.
Man, I know he had one like a year and a half ago. I just couldn't go. It was too short notice, man. It was like.
That's what I was telling you about.
Because it was already, I had a concert that I was already going to the week before that, and then that Jhené Aiko concert was 3 weeks after 4, and I was like, bro, I'm really trying to save money to get the tickets for the Jhené Aiko concert. And then, bro, my whole world collapsed. Like, the day, so the tickets released this day, and I was like, I get paid on the day after. I'm going to buy my ticket as soon as I can. I logged on to the website 6:02 after I got paid. Tickets were already sold out for the whole concert, bro, in Texas. And I was like, bro, the only thing in the world that I wanted was to go to one of Jhené Aiko's concerts. That would have done it for me. That was the one that I was like, I'm going. Mm-hmm. I don't care if anybody goes with me. I don't need anybody to go with me. That's cool. I was gonna pay for a meet and greet and everything. Like, but they sold out everything. I was like, all right, whatever. It ain't meant to be yet. But that's, man. You find your favorite artist that comes to town, you go see that person. You go do it. Like, that's all I can say. You go do it. It's a great experience.
All I know is you weren't the only one feeling salty. It made my day watching everybody on social media go nuts because they couldn't get tickets. I laughed my ass off the whole entire time.
Make me feel no better, Jonathan. Thank you very much. I was so, like, you don't... I went on a date that night with my current girlfriend, and she asked me what was wrong. We were eating at Hecho and Waco. I didn't even eat. She ordered something to eat, I think. We ordered some appetizer. I ordered drinks. I was like, I need me a margarita.
You're trying to drown away your sorrows?
We did not say, I don't think, but maybe 13 words that entire date that night. And it made me feel bad because I was like, man, this is baby right here. I ain't even talking to her because I can't go to a damn concert. That's how salty I was about missing and not being able to buy a damn ticket for this concert. This expensive ass concert. Expensive! I didn't care how much it cost. I wanted to go. that was looking back on it, that was so stupid.
Well,
I'll do it again.
Like I said, everybody was getting mad at that. But yeah, I said you can do what I do. Just get up on YouTube, on your TV, on the game, and just look up Jhené Aiko concert.
You don't,
and then you can act like you're there.
No,
I mean that way you can hear the crowd too, and you can be like,
no. If you're doing research and you want to know what you're getting yourself into, that's something different. Going to a concert and watching that shit online on a TV, two completely different spectrums. We're not even talking the same atmosphere. We talking about two completely different things, bro. Being at that concert is the livest and most chilled feeling you're gonna ever feel. In my opinion, that's me. I mean, you may be able to like see it through your TV and everything like that, but me personally, experiencing it like firsthand, like that's what I want to do. I don't care about watching that online. Nah, I wanna go. I'd rather save my money for 6 weeks and be a bum for 6 weeks and go to a concert, my 7th week.
Right.
Because that, man, it's the greatest feeling ever.
And that's what I want to do. I do want to experience that. So when I do experience that,
yeah,
like I said, I know it's going to change my whole world. Right. And then I'm probably going to end up going to more concerts and more and more.
Yeah. It just grows a certain intimacy within yourself, like a certain maturity, I guess. Because there is a certain way that you act or you don't act, and the way you behave and don't behave within a crowd of people that you don't know. When I was at those concerts, I'm not gonna say I had a bad experience a couple times. I never had a bad experience. It was just certain situations where it was like, I guess, a little uncomfortable, and it was only uncomfortable because I was unfamiliar with it.
Right.
So it was just like, I never overreacted. At least I don't think. So yeah, it's just, you got to be mindful of
your surroundings.
New surroundings.
New surroundings.
Exactly. New surroundings. But it's really, really cool if you just chill out and let everything be as it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah. Just go with the flow, basically.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, I got you. So, going back, I know we got off track. Didn't really get off track because we're going to talk about everything. But going back to the Super Bowl, I've been reading up. I've been seeing a lot of this being posted. It's saying, is Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid the new Brady and Belichick?
No.
That's what I said, no. And then if you kind of look at it, I don't know, Cam Newton kind of had an off year, the first year with the Patriots. But, everybody's saying that, no, Brady was the quarterback, was the system. He made Belichick's system versus, Belichick made Brady who he is today.
Right.
Because you see what Brady did on another team, brought him to a Super Bowl.
Right.
So, in your opinion, is Mahomes and Reid the new Brady and Belichick?
So, before I answer that question, let me say this. Tom Brady stepped into a different situation than Bill Belichick. Tom Brady stepped into a situation where he had weapons around him. He had a halfway really good defense, especially defensive front. Bill Belichick had to reconstruct his defense, lost some dudes, Had a brand new quarterback come in and try to run his system. Didn't really have the greatest wide receiver options in the world. Okay, never has though. Never really had a go-to running back as well. Mm-hmm. So with all that being said, I think Tom had the better situation, and I think Tom obviously worked out better than the Patriots. So I think I don't want to put it all on Tom because, yeah, Bill Belichick was a good coach, defensive coach. You know what I'm saying? They won a lot of games because the other team didn't score. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, Tom Brady's also in the Super Bowl first year with a different team. Kansas City, they won one Super Bowl. This is their second. Until they win 3 out of 4, I don't consider them no dynasty.
All right.
Okay. So, you think about the Seahawks when people consider them a dynasty. They only won one Super Bowl. They went to 2 of them, but they only won 1. And guess who they lost to in one of those Super Bowls?
All they had to do was run the ball.
Apparently.
All they had to do was run the ball.
But they didn't. So, they threw a pick.
They wanted Wilson to be the hero.
That's cool, but they lost the game. You know what I'm saying? They lost the Patriots and Tom Brady. The one other team that was supposed to be the new dynasty, and they lost. The defensive secondary that was known as the Legion of Boom, and they didn't win more than but 1 Super Bowl, and people want to crown them the new dynasty.
So I don't know. For me, if I'm considering a team to be a dynasty, I would think should be able to win maybe 3 or 4 Super Bowls. I'm gonna say 3 with the same personnel and same players.
I agree. If you're gonna win a Super Bowl, if you're gonna be a dynasty in any sport, it has to be with at least 3 to 4 players, same personnel within a 10-year span, 6-year span. 10 years, we're talking 2 to 3 championships, but your regular season wins and playoff wins matters a whole lot. If you win 3 championships or 2 championships, but you went to your conference championship 7 times, 6 times, that's pretty successful. That's every other year, more so. You know what I'm saying? So but with Kansas City right now, it's too early to tell. There's only been one dynasty in the past 20 years, and that's New England Patriots.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah. But, yeah. Yeah, no. They got more to prove to me than just 1 Super Bowl.
Yeah, because I say it's only this is going to be their second Super Bowl appearance. If they win this one, then I can see us saying, okay, we have a case on our hands, and we can see what they do the following year. I can see them winning back-to-back, maybe not back-to-back-to-back. So, like I said, there's always going to be a new team that's coming up. Remember when the Browns were bad, and then all of a sudden...
But, man, no, I don't... I figured. I even called that. I said the Browns was going to make the playoffs in a few years with Baker Mayfield. I knew, you know what I'm saying? I knew something. I called it.
Well, all I know is we need to get back to the Dallas Cowboys winning. Jerry Jones freaking hire a GM, man.
It ain't going to happen.
It ain't going to happen. By the time they win a Super Bowl...
We're going to be dead.
Probably.
We're going to be long gone.
Or in our 90s.
We're going to be gone. I don't need no if I'm going to make it to my 90s. We're going to be gone, Jonathan.
Look.
We're going to be out of there.
I will be a ghost just to watch that game. I will be a ghost at the Super Bowl stadium.
I want to be a ghost whoever's win Super Bowls at that time. That's what I'm going for.
I'll be like, look. I'm going to say, look, I saw it. Even if I was a ghost, I still saw it.
Mm-hmm. Nope. I'm going to be disloyal. They ain't pay me no bucks to be their fans. The only thing they paid me was they had a bad ass breakfast diner in Arlington that got shut down, bought out, and destroyed because it was in the area of the new Cowboy Stadium. I think it was called The Pit. A breakfast diner called The Pit. Biggest pancakes in Arlington. And it was delicious. Delicious. And they bought it out, tore it to pieces. So, I'll be happy if they never win a Super Bowl. Because they ruined one of the greatest breakfast places of all time.
Well, on that note,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, no, like I said, I think it's going to be a good game. It's going to be interesting though to see this off season what a lot of teams are going to do. Because I still want to know which teams, because obviously this was a pandemic season. Now, when we get back regular, which team is actually going to come out doing right when, we actually get this virus under control and it can actually go back to being normal and have players be healthy and not have to sit out because of safety protocols.
Right.
Which team is going to be the most dominant?
Right.
And the two I'm still going to go to is going to be the Buccaneers and the Chiefs. I mean, let's face it. Like I said, Tom Brady ain't going to retire anytime soon. If he does,
it's going to be soon, but it ain't going to be as soon as we think. It's going to be within the next 5 years.
Yeah, that's what
I say next 5 years.
That's what I'm thinking. Because I think not only is he working hard, but I think he's enjoying the game.
Yeah.
I think he loves to play the game more than anything.
And he said that he wanted to be a 20-year dude. Yeah, man. I mean, he could play until he's like, I don't know how old it is now. I hope he ain't 45. I think he can play until he's 45. But as long I think he enjoys the game now today more so than back then, because like now he's at such a older age that he enjoys seeing the younger players succeed. And he's almost like a LeBron, man. Like, he wants the dudes around him to succeed more than himself.
Right.
And that's even something that LeBron and Kyrie both said in times past about LeBron. And I feel the same way for Tom.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool. I like it.
So, okay, well, let's switch it up to basketball then, since we're talking about basketball. Did you watch the Mavericks and the Warriors game?
I watched none of it. What happened?
Steph Curry is still Steph Curry.
Didn't he go off for like 50-something points?
50-something points.
Man, that's ridiculous.
I think it's like his second or third game of the season with that many points.
That's a lot.
But yeah, it was a good game. It was a good game. I'm only saying this because my team is the Mavericks, and we need another star somewheres. But now going to that, do you see? Because obviously Klay Thompson isn't coming back this year. Do you think the Warriors are gonna? I'm sure they're gonna make the playoffs, but how far do you think they're gonna go deep into the playoffs?
They might surprise the team and win first round. I don't see them going past the second round. I mean, the West is just too stacked, bro.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, you got three teams that have an equivalent record or better record than the number one team in the East, and that's the Sixers.
Mm-hmm.
So, West is just way more stacked. That's the only reason. Now, if they were in the East, I mean, I think they could go Eastern Conference Championship.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't see them. Yeah, I don't see them going past the second round, just like the Brooklyn Nets. I don't see the Nets going past the second round.
Yeah, because, I mean, they've been playing better. The Nets don't have no defense at all. I think their philosophy is Why play defense if we can just outscore the opponent or try to outscore the opponent?
I just don't think they're that good at defense because they traded most of their defensive players away to get James Harden. So it's like they themselves put this in a position. It's just not very smart. But I mean, they obviously have more insight to player detail than we do.
Right.
So there's a reason why they went after these players. And they gave up who they gave up because they felt like we can give this dude up and still be valuable. So you have to be somewhat subjective, but I don't see them going past the second round. They not going past the second round. I still put cash money on it. They not going past the second round playoffs.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be some people willing to bet against you. And I'm just curious to see how it's going to play out.
Right.
So, like I said, my money is still on LeBron and LeBron and LeBron and AD. And I guess you can count the Lakers in there.
There you go.
But, like I said, that's going to be the most dominant team to beat. But then again, you never know. You never know because I don't know, I'm going to go back to the Mavericks because that's my team. The 2011 Mavericks were kind of a surprise to people. Like, nobody was expecting them to beat the Heat's big three. Nobody was expecting them to sweep the Lakers.
That's what's funny. That's what hurt my feelings. They sweep them motherfucking Lakers, and then they beat the Spurs. Then they beat OKC. Like, that's one of the most slept on teams in the history of NBA champions. Dirk was 34, 33 at the time. Jason Kidd, about, 38.
Yeah.
37. He's old. They were all old. Jason Terry, 36. They're all old, man. But they had so much experience and they played the game the way that they played. And I think at that point in time, a well-experienced team versus a newly formed team, high talent, just not experienced. I think experience that series triumphed talent. Mm-hmm. That's all that was. And the same thing happened with a few years later with the San Antonio Spurs beating the Miami Heat. People forget that Miami Heat went to 4 straight finals. 4 straight finals. Okay? Let's not take anything away from that. That's not easy to do.
Yeah.
In the past 10 years, who else has done that? Besides the Heat.
Yeah.
The Warriors, and you see they changed the game of basketball. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. Crazy.
So, with this season almost about halfway done, who's your sleeper team that could actually win the championship? Because let's be honest, the Lakers can't be dominated like all the time.
I'm going to say sleeper team is, even though they're the number 1 seed, I'm going to say Utah Jazz.
Yeah.
They're the number 1 seed, but like who really expects them to win the championship? Not a whole lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So either them or I'm going to say this year from the East, I'm going to pick an East team as well. Milwaukee Bucks. I feel like there's a difference between an 82-game schedule season basketball and when you get the playoffs. And I feel like when we get the playoffs this year, now that whole roster has a whole nother year of experience, I feel like this could be the year that they at least go to the finals out of all different years.
Yeah.
Just because, the Nets they haven't played a 7-game series together yet. So that's different, man. That playoff basketball is a whole lot different.
It is. It is a whole lot different because you don't have that 82 game schedule. It's just a best of 7. So you gotta,
every possession literally counts. So you either slow the game down or you speed it up as quickly as you can to, get every advantage as you can. It's crazy.
Yeah, for me, my sleeper team, I think it's gonna be Washington. I think
the Wizards.
They
might not even make the playoffs, man.
Man, the second half is still coming up. I'm telling you, Bill and Westbrook are gonna get in. They're gonna find that groove together, and it's gonna be it.
I hope so, because Westbrook's one of my favorite players.
Yeah, I just don't need Westbrook to. And I see this with a lot of star NBA players. Like, teams rely on their stars, but it's like y'all make them do too much in a way. Like, I was looking at Luka. Like, Luka does way too much. He just like tries to shoot. He drives in and everything. I'm like, dude, pass the ball. Like, don't try to rush anything. Don't try to force anything. Just pass until you find an open man.
But I mean, is that the play being called, or is that just the coach giving him the green light? Like, hey, you're better when you create offense by doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like Luka had a whole lot of triple doubles last year for no reason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So obviously he's got to have the ball. Now, situation where Russell Westbrook, hey bro, get the board, run down court, go to the basket, either make that bad boy or go to the free throw line or dish it out. Don't be jacking up threes or middies unless you open. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I just don't like seeing teams like rely too much on their star player, or the star player really, like I said, tries to do too much. Like, tries to say, okay, let me drive in and score. Like, no, pass the ball around, then pass it to your star player and make a play out of it. Right. Just don't like, okay, as soon as we get up the court, as soon as we pass the halfway mark, give the ball to your star player, and then everybody just move ISO. Let them ISO. Like, no, you gotta move around. And I don't know. I think maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just looking at the game different, but I would rather, pass it around and do plays so I can find the open man versus just give it to my star player and just let him run with it.
Right. I agree. I mean, there's different ways to get your star player open than just doing ISO. Obviously. Yeah. I mean, you can do off-ball screens, on-ball screens, whatever. Double screens, pick and roll, and then you can do a pick and roll on the backside to where the dude ain't even involved the pick and roll gets the ball. So there's 1,000 different ways to get star players involved. So I agree with you. But that being said, I also call it the AI effect.
Yeah.
Allen Iverson effect.
Yeah.
If you have a dude who's so ball dominant, you know that he's going to drop 25, 30 shots a game. You have got to load up on defense. You got to have two interior shot blockers. You got to have 2 great perimeter defenders, because, if they outscore you, you're gonna lose. If they get 96 points, you're gonna lose.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, because you got one guy shooting 35% of your shots. So he's going to have to create some offense elsewhere.
Yeah.
So that's those situations like Russell Westbrook kind of play. That's the AI effect.
Okay. Speaking of defenses, because you had texted me during that Mavericks Warriors game, you like, they scored 70 points. Was it at halftime? And I was like, and I told you, I said, well, when you make so many rules against defense, there really is no defense. Like, you can barely tap the player and they'll be like, foul.
That's crazy.
Like,
that's crazy, because I remember in 2000 and 2010 or when was it? 2011 when Kobe and the Lakers beat the Celtics. That game 7 was like 94 to 91, 95 to 93 or something like that. It was in the 90s. And it was because I think it went to overtime.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Them fools hit 70 points at halftime. Tell me how defense has changed or has not changed, either way you want to go, from 2009, 2010, whatever year it was. Pretty sure it was 2010. When then 2010 to 2021. 70 points at halftime today compared to back then, an NBA Game 7 Finals. The winner scored 90-some points.
Going to that, I don't know. Like I said, nobody plays physical anymore. Like they say that the big man's starting to go extinct. But I think a lot of it has to do with whenever Steph Curry came into the league and started shooting all them threes, everybody's like, oh, I want to be a shooter now. So nobody, backs down into the paint. Nobody really wants to kind of play defense. Of course, you get a foul called for every little thing. But everybody's like, let me shoot the three. Let me shoot it from the logo. Let me shoot it, as far as I can. And that's what I think. That's really what changed. Of course, basketball evolves all the time. Every sport evolves. So with that, like I said, I don't know. I wouldn't say the big man's going extinct. I just think that people are trying to adjust to the new age of, hey, we're shooting the ball. People are starting to make it. People's hand-eye coordination to actually make the ball go into the basket is getting better.
Man, so I think a player like Dirk, dude. I think Dirk Nowitzki in this day and age, I think if he would have started out in the league 3 years ago, and you give him the same 21 seasons with the Mavericks, instead of him averaging like a career 26, 27 points, I think that full average is like 32, 33. Because the game now is like, it's still an isolation game, but now it's more of an ISO on the perimeter. Mm-hmm. So the key about defense is always shrinking the floor to minimize your opponent's movement and their availability. But it's hard to do that when everybody on that other starting five can shoot the ball from the 3 line and further back. Right. But that's what's crazy about the game. So the more versatile your players are from the 3 line going in, you create more opportunities for those easier baskets inside and under the basket. Mm-hmm. Okay, so like dunks and layups and close shots and mid-range shots are probably at an all-time high as well, because they just have more open opportunities because they have to worry about 3 different guys being able to hit on the perimeter at any given time. Mm-hmm. So like you saying the big man being extinct, I agree with that, because positionless basketball. I don't necessarily think that the big man will be extinct, because if a big man can be like a big Bill Russell and play the whole length of the court, mm-hmm. then, if you're 6'10", being able to do that, which they have guys like that. His name's Ben Simmons. He just ain't very good shooting.
Yeah, he's working on it, though.
Exactly. But, like, Magic Johnson, same thing. Like, they've always had these kind of guys that can play those positions. And those have always been the teams that dominate. Mm-hmm. I think 76ers are about to turn a corner onto, I'm not going to say they're going to be a dynasty, but I feel like they can make some noise now in playoffs. I'm giving them that much respect. So.
For sure. They're going to be the one of the teams to beat, for sure, when it comes to the playoffs.
Got the best record in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, let's switch it up, because we're gonna switch it up to baseball. So you see that Elvis Andrus finally got traded to the Oakland. Well, I don't want to say finally, but he got traded to the A's for Chris Davis, which, if you kind of look at it, I guess is a fair trade. Both of them have been on a slump. I don't know if it has to do with their age. I think Elvis is 32 and Chris Davis is 33. But Elvis was coming off of a bad year because he was injured. He had hurt his back. So he's only hitting like 180-something, 190-something in the 20-something games that he played. Chris Davis, I don't know, people started looking that he was only hitting in the low 200s the past 2 seasons.
Wow.
I guess they would expect it to be higher since all he is just a DH. But, I don't know. Hopefully he can have a bounce-back career for the Rangers. And I'm still going to be a Elvis Andrus fan. Like, I admire Elvis Andrus. Yeah. So even if he's with the A's, I'm still going to root for him.
I like Elvis, man. I'm very sad that they traded him.
The last piece of that 2010 and 2011 World Series run that the Rangers were going to.
I know. That was crazy. That was so crazy. Being a Rangers fan for so long, they did that. And all of a sudden, we're just going to blow up our team because we don't like Nolan Ryan's opinion no more. That shit was so disrespectful.
Yeah, now look at where they are.
Exactly.
Rebuilding.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't treat somebody who was good to your organization like that. You don't discard their opinion, no matter how hard it is to take. Like, bruh, they were so much better off having him and dealing with his whatever he wanted done than getting rid of him. Mm-hmm. That whole Prince Fielder trade was out of spite. And then look what Prince Fielder ended his career because of a neck injury.
Yeah.
That same season. Or the season after.
It was the season after, yeah.
Like, and then, man, dog. It just, and then Ian Kinsler fell off the rip after that. I loved Ian Kinsler. Mm-hmm. I thought he was a great second baseman. One of my favorite players for Texas Rangers ever. Great man. And then the bastards had to trade him and get old Prince. That sucked. I do love Prince Fielder. Don't get me wrong. I love Prince Fielder, but man, we did not need to make that trade.
No, we didn't. But
did not.
It is what it is at this point. I don't know. I'm just hoping. I know a lot of people don't watch baseball, and obviously we played it, so we're always going to be fans of it. I'm just hoping that we get to see. I don't know. I'm ready to see some more games play and just see how it is, and see who's going to come out. Because a lot of players are re-signing with their teams. Right. There's a couple that may have signed with new teams, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Which teams actually come out and be good. Because, like I said, anybody can win at baseball. It's not timed. It's all about your hits, and it's all about your runs and how many outs you can get. If you can get all 27 outs.
Right.
So, it's going to be interesting.
Fun.
Yes. So, I want to do this because I know what happened today, and I know this is going to make Addison happy. Calvin Johnson, Megatron, in the Hall of Fame. That's arguably one of the, if not the greatest receiver in NFL history.
He ain't the greatest. There's still a guy named Jerry Rice that's pretty damn good.
Well, that's why I said he's one of the greatest.
Exactly. Well, he's top 5 easily. Regardless what his stats are career-wise, that's cool. I don't care. What that man did on a football field...
Yeah.
Top 5 of all time.
Yeah, he can go up and get the ball. Like, he can... Mm-hmm. He was, Randy Moss before Randy Moss. But, of course, he was Jerry Rice. So, I don't know. Megatron, to me, though, I guess because I actually grew up watching Megatron, and he's just so big and so strong. He can go up and get any ball. I don't know. Maybe if he had, more... Because the quarterback was good. Matthew Stafford was good.
Right.
It's just, I don't know if it was coaching or maybe they needed a line or.
Well, bro, I'm going to tell you something. When a defense knows that you're the only good receiver on your motherfucking team, I'm put 2 dudes on you every time.
Yeah.
Even if it only looks like I got one, I got 2 guys that are in that zone. So he's getting double teamed, triple teamed every single play. Mm-hmm. Not every other play, not once every 3. He's getting doubled and triple teamed, coveraged every single play. All because he ain't got another receiver next to him that can do what he can.
Yeah.
And that is asking a lot. I ain't gonna lie. But that's just reality of the fact. Mm-hmm. He's the only great offensive weapon that they have. So that limits your expectations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Well, I just want to say congratulations to Calvin Johnson. He deserves it.
And, for real. That's awesome.
I think he's like, I can't remember, like either the 3rd, 4th, or 5th person to be inducted into the Hall of Fame at age 35 or younger.
That's crazy. That is young, crazy. Man. Considering that Jerry Rice retired when he's like 41, 42. That's crazy for a receiver, man. That's awesome. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm going to switch it up on you now.
Go ahead.
Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about the Royal Rumble?
I liked it.
Was that your first time watching wrestling in a long time?
Man, I ain't watched wrestling since last year's WrestleMania.
Oh, wow.
Exactly, yeah. So, when I watched this Royal Rumble, I was like, okay, Edge is number 1, Randy Orton number 2. So, I had a strong feeling when Randy Orton went out with that little knee injury.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that he was going to come back exactly like he did. So, spoilers alert for all those who haven't watched it yet. But you need to. And then Edge winning, like, that shit was crazy as hell, man. Like, it really was crazy. Especially last year, him coming back, and then this year, him winning. So, I feel like he's going to challenge McIntyre, because ain't nobody knocked off McIntyre yet. And he's had that title for a while. And I feel like him relinquishing that title, I feel like he has a sense of, this really is mine. Like, nobody's beaten me for this title yet. I'm undefeated since coming back. So, yeah, you're going to have to see me, bud. And I think Edge is going to win the title. I think that's how WrestleMania is going to play out. It's going to be cool. I ain't watched wrestling in a while, but I'm going to watch that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's so many wrestling shows. Dude, I got to put you on a lot of wrestling shows other than WWE or AEW. There's a show, there's a lot of independent shows like Ring of Honor. I was watching one on YouTube. It's called Major League Wrestling. Yeah. It's pretty good. I watch like all of that. Like, I'm starting to get into the indie shows, whether it's from the U.S., whether it's from Japan, whether it's from Mexico, or from the U.K. I'm watching all of it.
Oh, man, our boy, I went to a show in Killeen with our boy Christian. Yeah. Christian Sands and Devin and Ethan. Man, that shit was live. Like, I don't give a damn how many people was there, not there, whatever. That shit was live as shit. They had a good ass show.
Yeah.
It lasted for about a good 2.5 hours. Man, it was fun, dog. It was real fun. Yeah. So, support your local wrestlers, man.
Go ahead and do that. Them. Do you think you could be a wrestler?
I'm good.
Well, I don't think I could be a wrestler. I think I could be a manager.
I'm good. I'd rather just go.
Just be a fan and just watch.
Yeah. Because that's too much. It is crucial. Like, once you think about and break down, like, how much thought they put into their characters and trying to make them pop the certain way that they do. There's a lot of acting involved, and I don't think I'm a very good actor, so I'm good. But besides, I don't want to get hit in the back with a steel chair. That just pissed me off.
Well, that's why you train.
Yeah, that's cool, but that still pisses me off every time I get hit. So I may or may not know how to react. But it'd be cool.
There's been instances where a wrestler has been what they call what is it called? Like they've been stiffed by another wrestler. Like obviously they're throwing work punches, but sometimes one punch will get in there and you'll hit them hard, and that wrestler's like, okay, and then they'll come back and hit them with another hard one and say, look, that's payback for what you did to me. Yeah. So it happens. It happens.
Yeah, I mean that's just combat sports.
Yeah,
that's what.
I know WrestleMania is going to be interesting, and next year is coming to Texas Stadium. It's coming to Dallas or Arlington. I'm going. Either if I got to go by myself, I'm going. I am going because I didn't go to the last time it was in Arlington, but I'm gonna go this time.
Hey, that's okay. I had a buddy that I worked with at the time that went, and he showed me like the video of Shane McMahon jumping from the steel cage down to the table. He showed me his video, and I was like, man, yeah, he was pretty close. He was on the second deck, I think.
Wow.
But he was front row. Man, that shit was live. Man, it was live. He had a perfect view. Man, that moment was crazy. I went back and watched that WrestleMania. That was pretty fun.
Well, do you have any questions you want to ask? Anything else you want to input?
Nah, man, I'm really good. I think we covered everything that I wanted to cover. I mean, there was one thing, man, that I saw on Facebook earlier, and it was KWTX 10 that posted it, and the state of Texas will be passing a law that transgender women will no longer be able to compete in biological women sporting events. And I like that because for a number of reasons. And I got into a little argument earlier,
heated discussion
this morning with people in the comment section because I saw a dude saying he wanted the best of the best. It didn't matter gender in any sport. And I was like, well, first of all, like, reality of the fact, if you do that, 99.99999% of every sport is going to be dominated by men. It's reality of the fact. And that's because of biological genes and bone structure, muscle density. That's all scientifically proven, okay? So it's like, it's easier for a man to build muscle mass at a much higher rate than a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And to sustain their muscle mass at a much longer rate than women. And the other thing about it is like it's a safety concern. So my argument was combat sports. I've sparred women before in boxing and MMA. I have gotten my ass beat by a woman. I've never gotten knocked out. I've almost knocked out a woman before multiple times and I wasn't even going 100%. So that, like, people don't understand when I say this woman needs to, if y'all want to make it fair, this woman, professional fighter, needs to fight a dude that's 10 pounds, 15 pounds minimum. 15 pounds minimum. Lighter than she is for the fight to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a discredit to the best MMA fighter in women, the women division, and Man Nunes. Like, that's my dog. I love her to death. It's just a physicality and muscle structure thing, man. Like, people don't understand that there's a huge difference between being born a man and being born a woman.
Right.
There's a biological and physical difference. Your body simply does not produce testosterone, which is used to build muscle in the body through proteins and fats. And that's just scientifically proven, bro. So the people that don't understand that, it's like, I get it, y'all want equality.
Right.
If that's the divide that y'all are going with, equality, okay, bet. But you have to understand that you're putting those women in danger.
Yeah.
For their life. Not for their career, but for their life. Okay? And I understand that because I've sparred women before.
Right.
That's something that you have to adjust yourself. And it's never good to spar less than 80% because that's how you get hurt. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's why I only really try to spar dudes. Only because I know, like, if he's going to go as hard as I can, I'm going to go as hard as I can. If I hurt him, if he hurts me, what the hell ever. Like, We're both guys. Like, we're both on that same physicality. A woman, I know I have a whole lot more biological muscle mass and shit like that. So it's like, if I fuck her up, it's going to be like, I just beat the shit out of a woman. She beats me up, is whatever. Like, oh, I haven't got whooped by a girl. All right, cool.
Which I feel like that happens a lot to you anyway.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Hey, whatever. It may. But I like it. So, but my thing is like, if that woman beats the shit out of me, that's cool because that means she's getting better at the craft that we're working at.
Right.
And that makes me feel better because in an everyday fight with a Joe Schmo, she'll be able to take care of herself. At the end of the day, that's what the fuck I care about. I want her to be able to take care of herself if no one else can assist or if she's in a bad position. Okay? So, like, when we talk about men and women, or women being able to compete in men's sports, I really don't give a shit. Separate the shit. Because what I care about is a woman being able to take care of herself on the street in a fight. Mm-hmm. That's what the fuck matters.
Yeah, and I agree 100% with you on all of that. It's like, we're all for equality. You're born or you feel the way that you feel, whether you're a man and that feels like a woman or a woman that feels like a man.
Right.
Like, okay, good. Gender equality with all that good stuff. But when it comes to sports, that's a different story.
Right.
That is a different story. And like you were saying, it's been proven that men have, much larger muscle mass and muscle density than women. And it's like, you just stay in your lane. Just stay in your lane.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you do want to compete with, like you said, your biological sex. Which is, if you were a male, compete with males. If you're born a woman, compete with women.
Yep.
But, if you're a woman that's going against males, such as, like, training-wise, and, like, trying to get better at a craft, then, yeah, obviously that's different because y'all aren't going 110%. Y'all are just
You're literally
practicing.
not trying to kill each other.
Yeah. So I agree with you on that, like, for sure. And I'm glad that Texas is passing that. And, yeah, and hopefully we don't see any more pictures of, this guy won the 100-meter female.
Three-time wrestling champ.
Yeah, like, that don't make no sense.
Like, bruh. And then the dude that was ranked as low as 290th in the country in track and field, and then he ends up winning the NCAA track and field championship in women's division.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, that's like, he low key was butthurt because he couldn't do
it as a man. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel. That's how that particular situation I feel like played out. I could be insensitive to the situation. I might be, but oh well. That's just my opinion, man. I mean, like, don't do that. If that's how you feel, you know what I'm saying? You have to continue being in men's sports, bro.
Right.
Like, yeah. It's just fair. It's just fair.
Yeah. Well, it's been good talking to you. It's been good having these conversations. He's probably going to be a recurring guest on here. And like I said, we're going to talk about a lot of things, and we're here to have fun. So with that being said, you got anything else you want to say?
Man, I'm good, bro.
All right.
That was a fun talk.
It was. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and please, 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 please share for your boy. All right? We out.
Deuces.